Failure. It's a word most people fear. But the truth is, failure is part of every success story. Behind every great achievement, there's a trail of mistakes, rejections, and disappointments that rarely make the headlines. The real difference between those who stay down and those who rise lies in the ability to turn failure into a comeback. Here's how. 1. Accept that failure is not the end. You know, when we talk about failure, it's important to understand something fundamental. Failure doesn't define your worth. A failure doesn't make you a failure. It's not an assessment of your character, intelligence, or potential. Failure is simply part of the journey. It's the stepping stone on the path to success. To truly embrace this philosophy, you need to adopt a different lens through which you view failure. Failure is not the end of the road. Instead, it should be seen as a redirection, a chance to recalibrate and refocus your efforts. You have to convince yourself that failure is just another page in the story of your life, not the final chapter. This is crucial for bouncing back from failure. Many individuals possess the talent and capabilities to succeed, yet they don't due to a lack of self-belief. They hold themselves back, thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I've already messed up once, so I might as well give up." These thoughts can lead to feelings of helplessness and despair. However, here's the harsh reality. Life doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't provide participation trophy. If you want to achieve greatness, you must be willing to confront challenges head-on and learn from them. Remember, it's not about whether you fall, it's about how quickly and effectively you get back up. As the saying goes, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So embrace failure as a natural and necessary part of your journey. Accept that it's not the end, but a redirection. And with that realization, you'll find the strength to move forward, to learn the lesson, not the excuse. In the face of failure, our instinct is often to blame external factors. We point fingers at circumstances beyond our control, convinced that if things were different, we would have succeeded. While these excuses may provide temporary comfort, they become a crutch that prevents us from truly learning and growing from our experiences. True growth, my friends, comes from within. It stems from our ability to introspect and identify the areas where we fell short. It is about taking responsibility for our actions and the choices that led us to that point of failure. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that external factors don't exist or that you should blame yourself for everything. What I'm advocating for is a balanced approach. One that acknowledges our role in every outcome, while also considering external influences. This involves honest self-reflection, a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, and a commitment to personal development. It's about understanding that you are the sum of your habits, your decisions, and your response to challenges. By focusing on what you can control, your attitude, your effort, and your choices, you can pave the way for future successes. Remember, while excuses may offer momentary relief, they ultimately hinder your progress. Learning from failure, on the other hand, equips you with invaluable insights that can propel you forward. 3. Rebuild with small wins. When faced with a major setback, the idea of a complete comeback can seem daunting and even overwhelming. It's natural to feel paralyzed by the magnitude of the challenge ahead. But here's the secret to overcoming this inertia. Start small. Set achievable goals that you can accomplish in the short term, such as winning the day or the week. This might involve breaking down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable steps or setting realistic deadlines for yourself. The key is to focus on what you can do today rather than worrying about the enormity of the entire project. Small wins breed momentum. Each small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem, contributes to a sense of progress and builds upon itself. This creates a snowball effect that carries you forward, enabling you to tackle bigger challenges. By celebrating these small wins, you train yourself to see that you can still move, you can still grow, and you can still fight for your comeback. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was any other great accomplishment. Break down your goals into smaller milestones and take pleasure in each small victory. As the author James Clear puts it, every ambitious student, athlete, or entrepreneur has to start somewhere. If you want to build a house, you start by laying the foundation. The same is true for building your comeback. 4. Embrace resilience over perfection. Listen up. Success isn't about avoiding failure or striving for perfection. It's about resilience, the ability to adapt and bounce back in the face of adversity. We live in a world that glorifies perfection, but here's the truth. It's a myth, an unattainable standard that sets us up for disappointment and discouragement. Let me ask you something. Do you think the most successful people out there, those who've achieved greatness, did so without stumbling along the way? The answer is no. Every successful person has a story filled with setbacks, failures, and moments of adversity. What sets them apart is their resilience, their ability to dust themselves off and start again after a fall. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the challenges seem too great or the obstacles too numerous. But it's in these moments that you must dig deep, summon your inner strength, and refuse to quit. Remember, resilience is not about avoiding failure or achieving perfection. It's about learning from your missteps, adapting to the changing circumstances, and continuing to move forward. It's about embracing the journey, accepting the imperfections, and staying committed to your goals. So don't strive for perfection. Strive for resilience. Be adaptable, be tenacious, and above all, keep moving forward. 5. Tell yourself, the story isn't over. Here's a hard truth that we all need to hear. You have the power to shape your own narrative. Yes, failure can be a painful experience, leaving you feeling demoralized, disappointed, and questioning your abilities. But it's during these low moments that you have a choice to make. You can choose to let failure define you, or you can choose to use it as a stepping stone in your journey. Here's what you need to remember. The story isn't over, unless you say it is. Failure doesn't have to be the final chapter in your story. Instead, it can be a mere paragraph, a small blip in an otherwise triumphant tale. It's your perspective that determines the weight and meaning of failure in your life. So tell yourself this: the story isn't over. I have more chapters to write, more victories to claim, and more growth to experience. Remember, your life is not a straight line. It's a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, success and failure, triumph and struggle. These contrasting threads are what make the tapestry of your life rich, vibrant, and ultimately meaningful. So embrace the full spectrum of your experiences. Use failure not as an ending, but as a transition to a stronger, wiser, better version of yourself. Final thoughts. My friends, failure is a universal human experience. Every single one of us has tasted the bitterness of failure, felt the sting of rejection, and grappled with the weight of our shortcomings. But not everyone bounces back. Not everyone turns their failures into comebacks. And the difference often comes down to a few simple mindset, resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward, when it would be easier to quit. Now, as I conclude this discussion, I want you to remember these words. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. The road to success is paved with both failures and triumphs. Your setbacks are not a reflection of your worth. They are merely a redirection, an opportunity to learn and grow. The story of your life is still being written. And while failure may be a chapter, it does not have to be the final one. So go out there, take risks, dream big, and embrace the journey. Trust that even when you stumble, you have the strength to get back up and create a comeback that is even greater than your failure. Remember, your potential is limitless. Your ability to overcome is boundless. And your story, my friend, is far from over. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it valuable, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Have a great day.